It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the East Side Real Estate Team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. It's Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. We appreciate you joining us today. If you'd like to listen to any past episodes, you can always find our podcast anywhere podcasts are podcasted. Another great show today, Brian. It's going to be a fantastic show. I'm excited to talk to our two guests, Bill Crater and Nathan Mumm with Envision Executive Services, and Ryan Blumenthal. We're going to get down and dirty with Done to Spec contracting and handyman services. But before we get to our guests, it's time for some Real Talk.
Last week, we gave you some great tips to sell your home faster. Today, we'll be discussing 3 questions you need to ask yourself before buying a home. If you're debating purchasing a home right now, you're probably getting a lot of advice. Some of it good, some not so much.
Solicited and unsolicited.
That's right. Though your friends and family are well-intentioned and have your best interests at heart, they may not be fully aware of your needs and what is currently happening in the real estate market. The other thing I've learned, Dan, over the years, the way parents protect kids is say no.
Just say no. Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't do it. So some of the advice that we want to give you is to ask yourself 3 questions. So the first question that you should ask yourself is, why am I buying in the first place? Right?
Right. So
there was a study to consider by the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard University, the Joint Center. They, what did they do? They revealed that top 4 reasons that Americans buy homes are: 1, good place to raise children and provide for a good education, a place where you and your family feel safe, more space for yourself, and then the control of the space. I think that last one's like the big one, right?
Yeah.
So I think when a buyer sits down or an individual sits down and says, okay, really think about why they're doing it. What's important to them?
Right.
What else? What else do they need to consider,
Brian? Consider where are home values headed. According to the latest existing home sales report from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the median price of homes sold in February, the latest data available, was $249,500.
Was that here
that's
in this?
National.
Oh, okay.
I wish it was here.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. This is up 3.6% from last year. The increase also marks the 84th consecutive month with a year-over-year gain. Looking at home prices year over year, CoreLogic is forecasting an increase of 4.6%. In other words, a home that costs you $250 today will cost you an additional $11,500.
Can you put that simply?
Yeah, by now. Yeah, it's going up.
Basically, real estate prices are going to go up.
Continue to climb. It's a supply and demand issue.
All right.
So simply put, prices are increasing. It's going to cost you more if you wait till next year to buy. And the other thing, we keep talking about this, interest rates are, what are they, a 2-year low, a 3-year low?
Hey, you're jumping on my line.
Oh, okay, hit it, dude.
So the home prices in this area, right?
Yeah.
Annually appreciation last year slowed a little bit. I believe we saw in some places 8%, right?
Right.
So let's just cut that in half for this year, right? Well, the median home price in Bellevue is $800,000.
Right.
Right. So if the median home price in Bellevue is $800,000, speed math, what's 5% of that?
$40,000.
$40,000. So just waiting a year in Bellevue is going to cost you $40,000.
Yeah.
So I like the first question, which is ask yourself why. Why is this important to me? And then ask yourself, okay, where are home prices going next year?
So let's reverse this thought for 1 second here. That $40,000, recognize that the gain is not on the $800,000; it's on your down payment. So where are you going to get a return like that?
There you go.
Yeah.
So if your down payment was 10%, that's a doubling of your down payment.
Oh, yeah.
In a year.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah, more than that.
But that's one of the big incentives is that your gain is not on the investment that you've made; it's on the entire value of the asset.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to believe in real estate if you're a real estate agent. But the quickest way to leverage your wealth is by leveraging an equity asset where you're putting only a down payment down.
Right.
And this is the only place you can do it. You can't do it with a car. You can't do it with...
this is an appreciating asset in most markets. Not always, but usually.
Okay, so now let's get to the third question you need to ask yourself is, where are interest rates headed?
That's right.
So interest rates for the last 21 months right? We're at a 21-month low.
That's right.
So what goes down must go up.
Eventually, yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that this will continue.
So what are the experts saying about that?
So I'll tell you. Thanks. Great question, Brian. Let's see what the experts say. So Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and the Mortgage Bankers Association and NAR, they've all projected that mortgage interest rates will increase over the next 12 months. So an indicator of what will cause mortgage rates to increase is inflation.
Right.
And, we'll ask our mortgage moment. I think it's Wes today.
Yeah, we'll put Wes under the bus.
So, you ask yourself, if they're currently below 4% and the effect of it being at 4.5 on a mortgage balance, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but the reality is that actually impacts your affordability much more than home prices.
That's right.
So one interesting thing that I'm seeing a lot of our buyers take advantage of right now is because inventory is more than it's been, right? We've got kind of a more balanced market. I'm not going to call it a buyer's market. It's a more balanced market.
More balanced market, that's right.
Because we have a more balanced market, homes are staying on the market a little longer, and sellers are incentivizing those purchases. The last two clients of ours that we helped get into contract leveraged the ability of that market instead of just going straight after price, because that was painful for the sellers to just keep dropping prices, and they actually gained incentives and credits, seller credits.
Buying interest rates down.
And using those credits, because essentially a cost of a transaction is probably between 1% to 2%, depending on where you buy your money from, which lender you use. And then you don't have any additional costs. But if you have a seller credit, it has to be used or it goes away. You don't get cash to close. That never happens. Banks won't allow it. So they're using those additional funds to buy their interest rate down even lower. So we're historic low interest rates, and then it goes even lower.
That.
It's really a great incentive. So essentially, in summary, ask yourself why. Say, what's going on in the market with housing prices? Are they going to go up? Okay. Can I afford it? Right. Mm-hmm. And are interest rates going to go up? That means moving now, making that change now, especially as we go into the fall. Boy, there's going to be a lot of good buys out there, right?
So just something I think would be helpful for our listeners is a little insight into how Dan and I work. One of the things we do in helping you with these questions is we do a detailed interview going in, sit down and help you understand the whole buying process and if owning a home is right for you. Our whole goal is not to sell you a home, but rather find a home you want to buy once we've determined that buying a home really is the best thing for you. Yeah.
And really helping you make the right decisions all throughout that process. Well, that's all the time we have for our Real Talk segment. Next up, we're going to be speaking with our lender, Wes, during our mortgage moment. So stay tuned after this commercial break to hear more from Wes Graham with Washington First Mortgage.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Have you ever had the feeling that home repairs are taking over your life? With our busy schedules, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. There are many things that can go wrong with the home, and often. They seem to happen at once. When home ownership starts to feel unmanageable, that's the time to reach out for help. It's definitely not the time to ignore issues or perform a half-hearted fix. That only results in larger repair costs down the road. Take action to protect your home by contacting Done to Spec. They work closely with homeowners to explore issues, identify solutions, and correct problems before they snowball into something bigger. You can find them online at donetospec.com, and they're available by phone at 425-996-9559. That's 425-996-9559. Done to Spec. Prompt, reliable, professional.
Envision Executive Services are the experts you can turn to in case of a ransomware or other cyber attack. As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. Bill and Nathan with Envision Executive Services help you navigate through the big picture as your CIO on demand. Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com. Get an on-demand CIO working for you to protect and keep your business running. To find out more, go to www.ee-services.com. That's ee-services.com.
Bringing good vibes to the Puget Sound and the world. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. It's now time for our Mortgage Moment segment. Okay, just want to be clear. I saw the dentist today, so that's why I'm like stumbling.
Smile.
All right, so during, so the Mortgage Moment, during this segment, we're going to get a quick update on the lending side for the home buying process. Today, we talked to Wes Graham from Wa First Mortgage. Wes is currently a senior loan originator, has been serving borrowers at a very high level for 21 years. Welcome to the show, Wes.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Brian. Good to see you guys. Good to hear from you.
We're really lucky to have him on. He says he's been busy. His phone's ringing off the hook. What's going on over there?
Yeah, so obviously with news from the Fed a couple days ago, obviously we've seen interest rates take a tumble. You know, when the Fed cuts rate, it's for short-term rates. So your home equity line of credit is typically immediately affected. And whenever we see a rate decrease from the Fed, it typically trails behind the 30-year fixed mortgages. So it takes a couple days for us to see the 30-year fixed to start to come down also, which we have seen drastically over the last couple business days. I've seen 4 or 5 price changes for the better. And I guess the thing for consumers out there is really if you're in that 4.5% or higher range on your current mortgage, it would probably be in your best interest to contact a loan officer and at least run through the numbers to see if there's enough net tangible benefit for a refinance that would put you in a better situation. Right now we're looking at 30-year fixed interest rates right at about 3.75% with about a 3.79 APR. And so what that means is affordability and lower payments across the board for any mortgage that you might have in your as far as a refinance and or purchase is concerned.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm curious, what impact do you see from this stock market stuff we're seeing the last few days?
Good question, yeah.
Yeah, the volatility in the stock market. You know, when we see stock market, when the stock market goes down, typically we see rates tend to follow that trend also and go down. It does provide some incentives to keep the real estate market, relevant and hot. With the as soon as the stock, it's tough because we all have to look at our portfolio, guys, right?
Right.
But and then we start to see the decrease in anything that we're in.
I'm not a stock expert, but anytime I see it go down, I'm like, hey, I can get some deals right now.
Right.
That's just me.
I know, right? Absolutely. And so it helps on the mortgage. It hurts on our portfolio. So, that's the way I kind of talk to my clients is like whenever you see the stock market tend to decrease drastically, you're probably going to see rate improvement across the board soon to follow after that. And that's what we've seen here. I try not to look at my portfolio during these volatile days because it just angers us all, right?
Yeah, the 401k become the 201k. There you go.
Yeah, the 201k. I love it. Yeah,
so,
I look at it once a month. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not a daily looker. That's for sure.
So great information. How do our listeners get a hold of you?
So you can reach me directly via my direct line at work. I'm down on the Kirkland Boulevard, and I can be reached directly at 425-268-0116.
Thank you, Wes. Good to hear from you. Hey, after the break, we'll be talking to our guest for the week. First up will be Bill Crater and Nathan Mumm from Envision Executive Services. Join us right after the break.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Envision Executive Services are the experts you can turn to in case of a ransomware or other cyber attack. As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. Bill and Nathan with Envision Executive Services help you navigate through the big picture as your CIO on demand. Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com. Get an on-demand CIO working for you to protect and keep your business running. To find out more, go to www.ee-services.com. That's ee-services.com.
Have you ever had the feeling that home repairs are taking over your life? With our busy schedules, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. There are many things that can go wrong with the home, and often. They seem to happen at once. When home ownership starts to feel unmanageable, that's the time to reach out for help. It's definitely not the time to ignore issues or perform a half-hearted fix. That only results in larger repair costs down the road. Take action to protect your home by contacting Done to Spec. They work closely with homeowners to explore issues, identify solutions, and correct problems before they snowball into something bigger. You can find them online at donetospec.com, and they're available by phone at 425-996-9559. That's 425-996-9559. Done to Spec. Prompt, reliable, professional.